States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to order, roll call, starting on my right.
Councilperson Josh Hearn.
Councilperson Brent Byer.
Mayor Jimmy John King.
Councilperson Craig Anderson.
Councilperson Jeremiah Olgen.
Approval of tonight's agenda.
Just one item, and it's just to add to your bill list. Sean will explain it on some testing, environmental testing. We get some of it reimbursed anyways.
All right.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Takes us to the minutes of March 20th, 2019 workshop. See anything that needs different or changing or you don't agree with? Otherwise, I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
We'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That takes us on to the minutes of the regular council meeting of March 26, 2019.
Move to approve.
Do I not vote on that since I wasn't here?
What's that? No, you'll abstain.
You abstain.
Right,
You
okay.
don't gotta do nothing. You get this one off. You got a motion to approve. We got a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That takes us to the finance and budget. You got the accounts payable. Sean, you got something additional there?
There's a bill that came in today for $6,190.80. That is with Chosen Valley Engineering on the environmental impact from taking our tanks out of the ground, where there was some leaking that occurred or whatever with our fuel tanks. That the Petro Fund will reimburse 80 to 90%, more than likely 90% of that. But we have to pay the engineering that did the study, and they submitted all the information to them. There will be an additional $300 bill for them to submit to the Petro Fund for the reimbursement, and then we get 80-90% of that back altogether when it's done. So, and that'll take 6 to 7 months before we would be reimbursed.
Any questions for Sean on that bill?
And it's in the, oh yeah, you mentioned the amount, yeah.
I have a question on the $12,000 spent for Waukesha Construction repair the
Thank you.
sludge blower or something.
Yep.
So is that part of the job or?
Yeah, it was part of the job, but they had sent the manuals down for the blower, and in there it specified a certain grease that was supposed to be used for the blower, and a certain amount of ounces of grease that it was supposed to get. Well, when they did the walkthrough, they told us what was supposed to be done, so Jeff was doing what they told us. Not many people read through the entire manuals to pull them out. They kind of do what they do in the walkthrough. But when they did the walkthrough, they told us that, and he didn't get the proper amount of grease in there.
But they told us the wrong thing.
But the problem is, you go back, it's going to be in the manual.
No, and I get that, and I'm sure you can't go after them again, but my gosh, again? I mean, it's just one thing after
I
another.
thought that wasn't part of it. So, what was the blower? Or
That's the blower for the sludge tanks, the new blowers.
What was the blower in agreement to? I thought we had, when we did that
That
last
was
settlement.
that was the agreement we did, because when we pulled up and we found it in the paperwork, we couldn't find it in the paperwork. And finally, the engineer found it and pointed it out, and it's in there specifying so many ounces. And that's where it ended up. And you're absolutely right. It's frustrating on our end as well. He was doing what he thought he was, but
Want to pay him?
Well, yeah,
Or you want to pull?
unfortunately.
We can pay you about it.
I just don't want them to go
All
away.
right. Any other questions on this? If not, I'll look for motion to approve the accounts payable.
So moved.
We got a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That takes us to motions in general business. First item tonight under general business will be the resolution calling for public hearing on 2019 utilities improvements, 10th Street Northwest. Homestead County will do a mill overlay project on 10th Street Northwest, County Road 35. The city has partnered with them to include in their plans replacement of water mains and water services. The city council will need to set a public hearing date to discuss the proposed project and assessments with affected property owners on April 23rd, 2019. Public comments will be heard at that meeting. the city will need to send out notices to these property owners within the proposed project area and publish twice in the local paper. Once the public hearing has been held, the council can determine at that time if they should proceed on the 2019 utilities, 10th Street northwest, which would need a 4/5 vote. So the action requested tonight would be adopt resolution 2019 a resolution calling for the public hearing on 2019 utilities improvements, 10th Street northwest.
Just, Jen had requested, she would have been here, but she requested, she had a family event, she was hoping to attend a sporting thing, and so. But basically, it's a very minimal assessment. It's just gonna be some water services that the folks on 10th, down in the Strikers, those next few houses to the west, will have to pay. Otherwise, we cover the mains, and then the county's covering the majority of the street costs. So we have a little bit of street recovery costs. That the city will take care of. So.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
Who made the motion?
Brent.
Brent, and I second it.
Brett? Craig? We all voted. Where am I now? Resolution ordering feasibility study. 2020, 2021 CIP project. Everything coming up on here. You got it on yours, you guys?
Yeah. I don't have,
I
There's a page that says
Never got
resolution
that.
ordering.
Never got this part now.
not that,
Yeah,
everything
that,
else, yeah.
that's missing.
See what happens.
Yeah, we'll.
Just the request cover sheet ain't, so everything else is on there, just the request.
that one
is
isn't?
on
Do
it.
we want to do that?
Let's at least.
All right, I'll read it out to you.
Feasibilities.
Next item is resolution calling for the feasibility study for 2020-2021 CIP project. Per the current CIP schedule, we are requesting that a feasibility study be ordered for the 2020-2021 CIP, which will take in 2nd Street Northwest from 6th Avenue Northwest to Highway 63, Lakeshore Drive Northwest from 2nd Street Northwest to Highway 63, 3rd Avenue Northwest from Lakeshore Drive Northwest to 1st Street West, 3rd Street Northwest from 3rd Avenue Northwest to Highway 63, 2nd Avenue Northwest from 3rd Street Northwest to 2nd Street Northwest, 1st Street West from 3rd Avenue Northwest to Highway 63. The first step in the process is to have a 2020-2021 CIP is to order a feasibility study. This will provide the necessary information to design the project. Once the study is completed, it will be presented to the City Council for consideration of approval if we should move forward. Attached is the city engineer's quote, prepare the feasibility study. That's in your packet. Council action requested tonight would be to adopt resolution ordering the preparation of a feasibility study for the 2020-2021 CIP project.
You see, his fingers got his hand in here.
Yeah.
Can you read that again?
You want me to read it again?
Yeah, because now it has to include an additional alleyway and stub street, so then that means you have to go through the whole, no. We would like at least included into the feasibility report, and it shouldn't add really anything extra to their cost, is the alleyway behind the high school, because it's been a lot of years since that was done, and then there's one stub dead end over there that we didn't get done with the
What's the
second and
continuation of
third.
the alley?
Yeah,
The one way.
so,
The alley on the north side of the high school is shot, and then that ties into, that would just be mill and overlay. And then the one way coming out of the high school onto 3rd Street Southwest, didn't get done as part of that project up there, so we didn't know if that was a good time to look at tying it in, but the alley needs some attention in the near future.
You wanna tie
So-
that into this project too?
Well, it's over
Well,
on
just to
west
get
side
the
of town,
costs,
so-
just to get the costs in. You'd still have the ability to do it on your own if we find that we can get a favorable quote, or we could have it added in or taken off of.
She didn't think it's
a
gonna
fund.
add a bunch to the feasibility study to do that?
We'll double check and ask her, but it's,
The,
Should
the
just be
alley
some
is the main concern.
calculations.
That needs probably to have something done with it sooner than later. And on our street tour, we can swing by and take a look at that.
These are all places we're gonna go on the street tour, I'm guessing, too, right, or on there?
you know. And we're doing 2 years, this would incorporate 2 years, and the main reason again for that is because of how we have to get those residents in and out of there by being determined by what's torn up, and it's basically a phasing situation there to help them all out.
Agreeable to everyone here? We add those in?
Works for me.
All right. You want me to read it all again?
Yeah.
Motion to approve the feasibility study or adopt the order of feasibility study?
Move to approve.
Jeremiah, second?
Second.
We got a tie. Which one do you want? You want to flip a coin or give it to Josh this time? All right, Josh got the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Oh, 2019 Public Works CEP purchase. Public Works Committee met on February 12th to review the 2019 equipment purchases. It was noted that a snowplow was scheduled to be purchased this year with $180,000 set aside in the budget. Public Works Director Hale has used the state competitive bidding program and is seeking approval of a Peterbilt truck and snowplow components from Universal Truck Equipment. The 2019 Peterbilt 348 truck estimated at 94 or is at 94,231. Snowplow components at 84,448, which gives us a grand total of $178,789. Council action requested is to approve the snowplow truck purchase as part of the 2019 CEP.
So what, is that like a big old dump truck, plow truck?
It's a
basically?
single axle plow truck.
So what is like the plow components? Like,
You got snow plow, sander, wing, and then the box is actually part of that too.
I just can't believe it costs as much as a truck.
This is a single,
Well,
this is a single axle?
This is a single axle. So that's what we looked at. The next one will be the double axle. We also want to keep one single axle. So this will be the single axle. And that was the guy's request because it's nice to have one smaller one getting in tight quarters and parks and stuff like that.
Life expectancy?
This is the ones we've looked at. We'd like to budget because the money we've run into repairing our trucks that we went over at the retreat and everything. 15 years. Try and get 15 years out of these. Most places are getting 8 to 12 years. The one we have now that we spend the least amount on is a 98, but we've started pumping a lot of money into the last few years. It's just the rust and corrosion takes over after a while. And kind of the 15-year mark is what we think we can do, and that's what we're shooting for. And then replace with new trucks instead of buying these trucks that are 10 years old, because they're getting to the point. That's why other people are getting rid of them, because that's when they start costing the money.
Any other questions for Sean?
This is bid like Rochester's. They use Peterbilt off the state bidding, and they also use Universal. And we did pull some of the frills out that Rochester, because theirs are quite a bit more than what these are. So we pulled some of the frills out of the truck to get it down to our budget.
Like what kind of frills?
We pulled out the electronic over hydraulics for the plow components and stuff running there. That saved $8,000. We took out the chrome or the aluminum rims, some of that stuff that you don't. We did stick with a stainless body because we are a stainless box and plow or the sander and stuff. Because pushing it out to 15 years, we replaced the box on our 1998 truck after 12 or 13 years. And that huge expense, you get the money back out of it if we go with the stainless steel. So we did stick with that. Some of the stuff we figured it's better in the long run because we're not going to be replacing the box in 12 years then. It should last the life of the truck.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
I'll second.
We got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries, thank you. 2019 Public Works part-time seasonal workers. Public Works Director Hale has recommended the following hires to the Personnel Committee. Alan May, Jerry Newbauer, Cole Rader, Ty Schmidt, Mark McDermott, and Shane Updegraff. Rader and Newbauer will be splitting position on one of the large mowers. Council action requested is to approve the hires as submitted. Once again, I'll ask the question, we won't be getting any trouble with the union or anything, you got enough guys so they can get their, alright.
Yep.
Action requested, approve the hires.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a second.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Let's see what we got next. Oh, Mayor Staff Consultant Reports next. Mayor's Report. Tonight, the city of Stewartville would like to send their sympathies to the families of Paula Emerson, Georgia Witt, Harriet Sullivan, Nathan Mullenbach, Arlene Vandenberg, and Jean Peters. Swimming lesson sign-ups will be next Thursday. No, I'll be this Thursday, right?
Next,
Next? Oh, it's this.
the 11th. I'm sorry, it is
This Thursday. April 11th from 2 to 7, and then again Thursday, May 16th, 4 to 6 at the Fire Hall. SYAA is taking registration for their summer ball program. Registration is online only. And don't forget, citywide garage sales are just around the corner. Register now. They will be May 9th, 10th, and 11th. And with the retirement of our two librarians with 33 years and 27 years, they got me looking at a list of employees. And we have a lot of longevity in our employees at Public Works Department, here at City Hall and everything else. I don't always remember, and I'm going to try to from now on, to thank them for all their loyal service through all these years and all the great things they've done for our community. One I forgot I should have mentioned last time is Cheryl Rader with 30 years, is it? I'm going to try, I've got the list now, I'm going to try to keep it up because we do have some fantastic employees, and as they retire, they are very, very difficult to replace. They have done a fantastic job, and the citizens thank them. And I thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
And that's all I've got. And that'll take us, well, I don't know where it takes us. Look at mine, it went away. Yeah, city administrator's report.
Hopefully it got in your packet. I had it done, but didn't get it transferred over in time, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's in here. Unless it's, oh, it could be further down.
Disappeared, everything on here disappeared.
So anyway, I'll make that available for you after the meeting.
Not too worried about it.
But,
This is Bill's is in there.
did it show up?
I got nothing, my computer just went kind of bad on me. I'll look at it here. No, we got nothing from you.
Okay. I'll get you up.
Weren't you here this last couple weeks? Or
Yeah.
what's the deal?
Oh, boy. I'll have a hard copy available for you as you leave today. But really, there's nothing new. We're still going ahead with the CIP project. There's been no formal notification of anything different at this point in time. And then tornado awareness and the siren drills are going to alternate going off this week, but they might be snow drills depending on what hits. So those are
They
really
did cancel it.
the only two things.
They have canceled it.
Because of the blizzards
Yeah.
coming, I just hadn't seen that yet. So.
All right, any questions for our administrator? All right, thank you, Bill. Finance director, you got anything for that, Bill?
Pardon?
Anything for
Let's
Finance
see.
director's report?
Report. Shouldn't be anything additional. Obviously, that committee we'll meet with you here pretty soon, just see if you have some preliminary ideas for us to start thinking about for the budget. But we can kind of do a little of that discussion when we're on the street tour, so.
All right. Public Works Director Sean?
All right, you give me grief for the number one on there. Because it's all going back on.
Oh,
I was just gonna ask, I was gonna ask you what the plan was.
Well, we don't put the sanders back on. We have one truck that we can sand with. So we'll just use that one truck to sand the entire town. We'll put the wings back on. It's not a half hour per truck to throw the wings back on, so it's not a huge deal, but the gamble you take.
yeah. Well,
What's the last weather thing that you've checked as far as when it's supposed to be coming in?
Starting tomorrow through Thursday night, Friday morning.
Like tomorrow afternoon, evening, did you hear anything or no? Any updates?
Starting I didn't know when the rain and snow was supposed to switch over, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's supposed to. Chance of it starting at 8.
tomorrow.
You said you heard
I heard it
less.
was downgraded.
Oh, and it's
Still a couple of inches, but not.
What's Ted have to say?
Last I heard from Matt Benz was 1 to 4 Wednesday through Thursday, and then maybe another inch after that.
I'm filing
Oh, so they
agreements.
have
The warm air's coming up.
The warm
So
air's coming up, so we're gonna get snow first, and then it's gonna transition over to ice and rain.
Oh, okay. We've got a large gust of shimmel coming from the south.
That'll warm things up. You get a lot of that out of
I'm
here.
filing agreements. Anybody can jump on board if they want.
Remember, this too is where we monitor where we plow it, because sometimes depending on how that temperature and snow falls, we've played with not pushing it all the way into the gutter so
Yeah.
they stay open for drainage. So if you get calls, depending what Sean has to decide there, know that these spring ones, we play with them a little bit.
Is there a snow emergency or whatever we have to put out there?
we'll wait and see
Yeah.
before.
Usually that ends April 1st
That probably-
for our true signage.
That's what I was curious about.
But depending on what hits and then what we need to clear out for emergency folks and citizens.
The
we
soonest
just
that
may-
would go out would be Wednesday afternoon late, for Wednesday night.
Tree dump, dog park are open again,
We've opened the tree dump out too,
or? Okay,
but not to the dog park all the way.
Okay.
But they just have to park back there and walk back,
thanks.
so. But we'll see what happens. If we get a bunch of snow, we may, and it gets super soft out there again, we may have to.
Did I see you guys burned off?
Yep.
How'd that go?
Good.
Great. Any other questions for Sean? All right, thank you, Sean. Tell the guys thanks. Get some rest so they can plow. No city engineer report tonight?
Nothing, well,
Nothing, she didn't leave
Nothing
nothing with anybody? All
no,
right.
it was just what we did in your actions.
All right, no library director report?
No.
Not tonight.
Fire chief's monthly report is in our packet.
Yep, he's at a meeting, so then he couldn't make it, but sent the report.
Takes us to our committee, commission, and board reports. Chamber of Commerce. I don't think there's anything in the packet. EDA, HRA,
There's stuff in the packet. It's okay.
you got some CETA updates and the rest of it's in there. Finance,
Nothing.
library,
Nothing.
park board,
Nothing.
personnel,
Interviewed library candidates today.
planning and zoning.
Nothing.
Public safety. You got the sheriff's newsletter, you got anything from the committee or anything else that we know of or anything? Nothing tonight. Public works. Ready,
Nothing this meeting.
roll call.
Yep, minutes are in your packet, and then we did include just some interesting latest facts and figures on what they see as projected growth, and you see Stewartville is highlighted on a couple of the pages, dealing with workforce, population trends, and a couple of just, I always call them fun facts of how the area is growing.
It's
So
projected to grow by 2045.
it gives the surrounding communities here in Olmsted County too. So.
All right, thank you, Bill. Stu 180. Nothing tonight. Transit Advisory Committee, we'll give them the night off. Communications. What have we got there? This is really a mess for me.
Just
What is that?
for MnDOT for I-90 project.
Oh, really? Yeah, we got communication on that, on the I-90-63.
And basically what I told you last night at the school meeting, it was the first planning meeting as they start now honing in on the project, which for the public's benefit is still scheduled for next year and the year after, alternating bridges and then realigning the traffic lanes. And so they right out of the chute, this is for the public's benefit too, said we're not sugarcoating anything. There's going to be some adjustments due to backups and things like that. So it's just something citizens will have to get used to, but kind of fits the old no gain without pain. So.
Alright. Alright, any questions on any of that? Otherwise, I'll take us to the open mic. City Council welcomes and encourages participation from community members. Please keep in mind that your comments must be pertinent to city business and must adhere to the data privacy rules. No employee's name may be used. Please do not expect action from the council this evening regarding your concerns. We would also request that your comments be limited to 4 minutes. Speakers be recognized only once. At this time, we ask anyone who would like to address City Council, please step up to the podium and state your name and address. Nothing. Hearing nothing, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.